Good morning, Your Honor. Christian Rodriguez on behalf of the state. I believe that there are a couple members on the Zoom.
Yes.
Thank you.
And good morning, Sarah Alvarez on behalf of Rashaun Jones.
Good morning. I have an aerial stirrup.
Ariel? Right, area, but that's probably. You do your surgery? Yeah.
Okay, so do I have to let the person in or no?
What's the last name again?
Stirrup, like a,
That's one that I know, it's gonna be, it's be a slideshow. Just as someone observing, but it's my
It's you.
relative.
Oh.
It's not me, it's a relative of mine, but they're just observing.
okay. Do we have a Tony Rowe? Is that the one you were looking for? That's Tony
Tony Rowe, I'm sorry.
Rowe, R-O-W-E?
Yeah. Tony Rowe? No. I can see.
No? Okay. All right. Okay, so we're back on the state of Florida versus Rashaun Jones. We had set this for a potential plea to let him have an opportunity to speak to his family and decide if he wanted to extend any kind of counter offers or anything of that nature. I think the state had said their offer was like 17 or 18 years. I don't remember from last week.
I believe that was the most recent plea that the state had made. I know that when we proceeded to trial, the state had withdrawn from plea negotiations, so the 25-year amendment came back.
Right,
So that's where at least I have that we had last left it.
okay. All right, so Mr. Jones, good morning.
And Judge, I'm sorry, before we address Mr. Jones or address the police situation or colloquy him, I need to advise the court of a new development
Okay,
that has occurred.
hold
So
on. There's always a new development.
always, yes. So I received information that an inmate incarcerated with George French Jones reached out to Mr. Petrowski. And he basically advised that he has exculpatory information regarding George Jones as it relates to this case. And Mr. Petrowski, since he was the one who spoke with him directly, is present in court and he is willing to advise the court of what that information was.
Okay,
So,
exculpatory against George French Jones?
No, exculpatory for Rashaun Jones,
Okay,
So-
but based on George French Jones
all right,
regarding George's involvement.
okay,
the state, it seems like maybe defense has a little bit more information than the state does, but the state received an email from Mr. Petrowski late yesterday in the afternoon. I had a brief conversation with him. Law enforcement is going to be investigating that. I'm not quite sure why the attorneys are speaking to defense before the state can coordinate a statement with law enforcement, but at this time, we are asking defense just not to impede in that investigation and allow law enforcement to proceed in taking a statement.
okay,
And Judge, I would just ask that Mr. Petrowski have an opportunity to advise the court so that for
Okay.
any plea calls.
hang on. All right. I know you wanted to address all of this beforehand. I don't think it's appropriate. I think there are a lot of issues that we're gonna have to address, not only that one. And I guess maybe you discussed those with your clients already. There are other issues which may now create conflicts of interest with attorneys and witnesses and things of that nature, which is going to potentially do what I had discussed with Mr. Jones. I don't know if he's discussed all of these issues with you. Now there are potentially new witnesses, new depositions that need to be taken, none of which is going to be able to happen in the amount of time that we had hoped. So we discussed that last time with some of the new developments and things that were happening in the case, whether or not the September date was a potential reality that it was going to occur. Just yesterday, I set a backup case in the event that this case doesn't go because of all of these developments. I don't want to leave those 3 weeks open like we had had in the past. So I guess Mr. Jones has heard from you all that issue. Mr. Jones may have also heard, and I don't have the actual pleading in front of me, but there are some allegations of payments that may have been made to witnesses and
Yes.
investigations.
This goes to that as well.
Right. So all of that creates potential issues which may or may not result in new witnesses being listed, or actually sounds like they will result in new witnesses being listed, of which even Ms. Alvarez might be listed as a witness, which then would create other issues. And we're going to have to delve into these very deeply in order to determine all of those things. Whether or not there are investigations going on, I glanced over the document. I did not see any payment proof or anything like that, but there are allegations. So I don't know what is being investigated, who has been investigating, how long the investigation might take. And I would like to see a wait for Miss Diamond to come back. Is she coming back next week?
She'll be back next week.
To see what, if anything, the state attorney's office is doing. But I have had issues in the past, in other cases, not your case, where similar allegations are created. And then there has to potentially be another judge who reviews evidence in camera. There are potential investigations that could go into other lawyers, or that perhaps your lawyer would be a witness to, that might have to testify for you even. So there's so many different now avenues that have to be addressed. I want to start with the simplest so that we can move on. If the case is going to resolve, we don't need to address them. If the case is not going to resolve, then we'll start setting them for hearings one at a time and go through that. So I wanted to ask Mr. Jones if he had given any thought to whether or not he wanted to resolve the case or he wanted to proceed forward with the trial.
Yes, I thought about it, Judge. I would
Okay.
like to continue with the trial and,
Okay,
yes, ma'am.
all right. So understanding that, I'm going to set this, or maybe the state can enlighten me. I had no idea about this other issue. I had the first issue where you filed your notice. How long do you think you need before you can speak to the detectives to figure out how you're going to proceed, when you can do depots of these witnesses, if the defense or the state is going to list them? I don't know if Mr. Petrowski is going to be a witness, so I don't want him to proffer anything yet until he or everyone makes that determination. He might be listed by the defense, he might be listed by the state, both.
Judge, I can probably get somewhat of information maybe later today if you want to set for a brief just status next week, where I can maybe email chambers with all the attorneys to say we need X amount of days, and the court can set it that way, however your honor prefers. I just don't know that I have an answer right now. If you tentatively want to set it out maybe 2 weeks, we can also do that.
So I
So-
think we're already on calendar on August 14th.
All right, so yeah, that's just for the motion to dismiss order.
Right, but maybe that's a good opportunity for status if we don't have an update before that.
We can try. I just think the status is going to take quite a long time, and I don't know that we'll have all that time on that day. I set 10:30 for the order to see if we were going to be able to have it done by that day. I sort of, since we're working on a few different orders at the same time, and I have an Arthur hearing and 2 trials set. No, 3 trials set still Monday. 1 just resolved, but the other 3 are still there. So I don't know what the reality is going to be. What I did read state was that there was also a statement made to someone in the, I don't know if it was a federal prosecutor or a federal officer of some sort.
It was federal agents.
Okay. I guess they disclosed that to you all.
We provided a copy of that to defense.
All right. That was my first question, as to whether the defense had a copy of whatever it was. It was, I guess, recorded, or it's just a,
It was
A
a
report.
It was a report that was generated.
okay. And is that officer going to be listed in this case or not?
I don't have an answer to that at this time.
That's part of my question. I don't know if they're going to be doing an investigation, if you would be the contact person or your co-counsel to give us an update.
I'm happy to, I think we're both of equal when it comes to giving an update to the court. If you're asking for, I guess you want us to come back to maybe see how much time we may need.
That would be my first question, if any. I mean,
If any, right, if any.
I don't know. I don't know if you'll need any. Maybe there's, nothing to it, and everyone already knows that. I don't have any information other than what was filed. So, and then now we have a whole other avenue to investigate as well. I had given a deadline date for motions in limine, which now I don't think is feasible.
Well, it's the 24th. I think we can still keep that date.
I have it the 28th.
I believe it's set for hearing the 28th, but your honor set
Right.
the 24th for us to file.
Right. Well. Okay, we'll see how it goes. I don't know that that's gonna be enough time. That's 2 weeks.
Well, we believe that we'll be ready. We don't have any reason to think that we won't be.
I don't know that you can make that determination. If they are investigating witnesses and there's an ongoing investigation, I think there could be conflicts that could arise. I've had it happen in other cases where the actual attorney can no longer be on the defense team because of some of the investigations. So I think that's going to be an issue, being that you're the lead. And it's not something that's uncommon. I don't know any details. I have no information from any of the investigators or from the state as to what the status is, but I do need to give them an opportunity to do that, because the reality is not only do I have to colloquy your client on any potential conflicts or waivers, we need to clear it with the bar if there is anything. Hopefully it's nothing.
Well, Judge, I know it's nothing. I have all the confidence representing that. Whatever the state needs to do to verify that is fine. Mr. Jones can be colloquied whenever the court would like to colloquy him.
Well, I need to have more information so I can colloquy him on.
What the state ultimately provides, but I am not concerned in the least.
Well, there are, from what I'm seeing, if nothing else, there are new witnesses that need to be potentially listed, because it seems like even from one of your motions asking to redepose on the issue, I think we're gonna need to potentially flush that out. I don't know who's going to list additional witnesses, but it seems like maybe Mr. McClendon might be a witness for the defense. I don't know. So I guess we'll give you all an opportunity. Let me know if you have any update by next Friday, but I guess the biggest update you can have is whether or not they're going to do an investigation. I don't know that we're gonna know how long it's going to take, but let's see.
And I mean, and I would just ask if the state has information prior to next Friday, that we be advised of that as soon as possible, so that whatever the next step is that we need to take, we can start moving on that.
Sure, of course, but we'll see. I guess part of it is that it's not all in the state's hands. It's not like only a state officer.
I understand.
All right? Okay, so we'll see you all next Friday.
Looking forward to it.
Okay,